Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Monza. It is race 2 of the weekend, the final race of the weekend. And well, it should be an absolute crackerjack of a race. Very much excited for this one. The grid is completely different to what it was yesterday in terms of qualifying as well. And well, I just have no idea who's going to win, and that is the best type of racing. Good to see that indeed Pro Sport Racing are in the race today. Turns out that they all pulled all the cars out because they weren't happy with a steward's decision in terms of Tim Heinemann being disqualified from qualifying. But they're all here now. We're all friends again. And that's all that matters as we do indeed pan over and look at one of the most famous complexes of corners in the world of motorsport, Ascari Chicane. How are we all doing over on YouTube? I can see the YouTube chat, so let me know from where you're watching around the world. That would be great as we then look at Lucas Maron's car there as a reflection. It's a very, very obvious car to see. Bright blue and red, Lucas Maron. As that fan has been there all weekend by that fence and that tree. I wonder if they know that they've been on the broadcast, though. As you can see, the heat haze there in the background. It is very, very warm here at Monza. Very, very warm indeed. We have got just about, I think, 9 minutes to go before we indeed go live in terms of the racing action. And here is your grid then. So Will Tregerfer, who managed to get a podium yesterday, is in P1. He got 3 points for his troubles. Heinemann then, last season's champion, in second spot on the grid. So we have got Tregerfer, who will be looking to win this championship this season for sure, and last season's champion right at the front of the offering. In behind them, we've got Ben Green in third, Moritz Lerner in fourth position. Ben Green, of course, winning yesterday. Moritz Lerner getting his podium on his debut. We've then got Michael Schrey in a top 5 spot with Nico Verdonk really performing well for Ring Racing in the Toyota. But again, we will look properly through all of the cars in a minute, as we have got Tim Heinemann there just in front of us. You can tell it's Tim Heinemann because he's got race room all over his car and indeed his race suit. So as you can see, a lot of drivers outside of their cars here because it is just so warm at this stage of the race. Track temperature is the hottest it's been all weekend. It's a little bit overcast as well, so it's very muggy, but it should be a good one. James Smaggersgale from the UK. Welcome. Welcome to the broadcast. Lots of sim racing fans this weekend watching the... I feel like everybody in the real... here and potentially pick up a race victory in the AMG. So last season, it was Spa that was round 1 and 2, and it was a BMW win in both races. It was Ben Tuck that took the first ever victory in the Trophy Championship, and it was Ben Green who took the second round on the Sunday. Well, this season, Ben Green's taken it in race number 1. I'll be going to see a different manufacturer take it in race number 2. Again, the grid is just so different from yesterday in terms of qualifying. Just goes to show that actually what we feared at the start of this weekend might be that one car was particularly faster than the rest of them. As the weekend has progressed, that has not been the case. So exciting times. Oh, we've got lots of Chandler Hole fans watching from Dallas. Love to hear that. Cowboys Nation and all that. Pietro, we've got around about 5 minutes. 5 minutes before we do indeed do our formation lap. Last season's champion there, looking pretty relaxed. So yeah, we are very, very close now to kicking things off, that is for sure. And there is Chandler Hole, the number 35 on the left-hand side in the car. So everybody just chilling before we do indeed get underway. .30 minutes of racing is going to be absolutely incredible. And look at Ben Green there, he's got his own entourage. Well, there you go. I wanted to go quiet there because we could quite clearly hear them talking. They are the front row here today. Oh, sorry, no, Ben's just in behind, actually. He's in third position, of course. But yeah, he starts right behind Will. Nice of them to have a chat, both give each other some well wishes. But ultimately, as soon as the green light comes on, oh, it is going to be hell for leather. That is for certain. Ooh, Kevin wants my predictions into turn number 1. Because it's a rolling start, I don't think there's going to be too many issues. Tends to be very, very clean. But race 2 does tend to be more fruity than race 1 in the DTM Trophy. I think they're all going to get through pretty nicely, but I just got a suspicion that one of these two BMWs might be able to go and split the Aston Martin and the AMG. Not sure which one, but I think Green or Lerner could potentially put themselves in the mix into turn number 1. That's my prediction. What's everyone's predictions then? Who is going to win this race today? I think there's definitely a outside chance, or a dark horse, should we say, of Lucas Mauron. I think Lucas Mauron knows how to win races, and he's in the top 7. I think anyone in kind of the top 10 can win these races. Michael Schreyer, if he can get off the line well here, again, he could get a really, really good start. I just think the BMWs have got that extra pace in a straight line. So the run down to turn 1 is going to be I don't know, it's going to be super exciting. That's all I can tell you. The number 24 then of Reinhard Koffler. He's in a true racing by Reiter Engineering. Again, the Expos do have a bit of an advantage in terms of this position where they're stood on the grid, because it means they can open up the roof. It's nice and chilled for them. And as I keep saying, it's everybody's favorite Belgian. It's Nico Verdonk. So this driver here has got some serious pace, but it's just a little bit too sporadic at this point. When he clicks with this car, he is going to be someone who's going to win races. Absolute fact. I cannot see anything other than that. Christopher Rink. Well, we were on board with Christopher Rink. That's Lucas Mauron's car there. See the Swiss-born, the Brazilian-born Swiss. He was the one with the luscious locks of hair. One of the most aggressive drivers I've pretty much ever seen in the world of motorsport. But a very, very talented driver. 3-time race winner in the DTM Trophy last season. 3 out of the last 4 races. So here we go then. Just about ready for everybody to disperse off of the grid. Then we have our nice little formation. And then we're good to go. Jan Zimmer, the number 50 for FK Performance Motorsport from Switzerland. Maybe he can spring a surprise. We'll be starting 8th on the grid. Who's winning then, guys? I'm seeing a lot of Moritz. Seeing a lot of Moritz in the YouTube chat. So now's your time to get your predictions in. Paul Sugar, how you doing? The calm before the storm. Trust me when I say, ladies and gentlemen, race 2 of the weekend is always very, very special. is Theo Overhouse. Starting P10. It's just inside the top 10. So the driver's not so animated as yesterday. Yesterday they were a little bit more relaxed, I would say. Jörg Wiebahn, who for me was my driver of the day yesterday. Started right near the back and managed to make him a position up into towards the top 10. Got some points. So for me, driver of the day. Driver of the weekend, actually, I'm going to say. Maybe, I don't know, Moritz Lerner. I think everybody will probably say Moritz Lerner's up there. And Will Tregurtha, perhaps, Ben Green. But yeah, considering his qualifying, I think Wiebahn has got some serious pace in that car. And he's got the driving ability to match as well. Simone Riccatelli, what a story would it be if we had an Italian pick up a podium here? Is it a possibility? Not too sure from 13th on the grid, though. That's my only worry. 13th on the grid. It's going to be almost impossible to get up that high. But stranger things have happened in motorsport. That is a fact. Christopher Rink, then the German, for Hofer Racing by Bonk Motorsport. Again, definitely my favorite team name. And they're all doing the hearts here. It's like they've got the WhatsApp group out. Go, yeah, do the hearts this week, lads. Ladies, do the hearts this week. On to the number 35 then, Chandler Hole. Well, it's been said there's a lot of fans watching Chandler Hole. Let me know, spam the American flags in the YouTube chat. How many American fans have we got here? Philip Stahlschmidt then. We've seen some Stahlschmidt fans in the chat. He will start on P16. He's also for Hofer Racing by Bonk Motorsport. Just none of them want to give the camera any eye contact here. The nerves, you can just really sense the nerves here. X-Wolf. Laura Crayhamer then in the Expo. Starting down in P17. So the Expo's always going to struggle around a power-dependent circuit for sure. Stefan Cox for Ring Racing will maybe be a little bit disappointed being down in P18, considering teammate is up to P6 in the same car, so 12 positions of difference. But definitely a lot to work from. And then we've got the Romanian for Hella Pagid Racing 1, David Gerban. How relaxed is Gerban today? Can't really tell if he's smiling. No hand up. They all just look a little bit nervous today. This is going to be an interesting turn one, isn't it? Patrick Mathiasen then in the second of the Aston Martins on the grid. He is from Denmark. And then we've got Sophie Hoffman from Germany in the Haider Motorsport Audi. Again, all the Audis are very, very colourful. Honestly, I believe that Hofer Racing by Bonk Motorsport, I believe that FK Performance Motorsport, and I believe that Pro Sport Racing all had a meeting together, or they're all in the WhatsApp group together and like, right, last season we had loads of colourful cars. And the commentator, it was easy for him. This season, let's make it really difficult by painting all of our cars the same colour. Well, I tell you what, if that was a plan, it certainly worked. But the Audis, they've done me a big favour here. The Audis look very colourful indeed. Here we go then. It is indeed time for the warm-up lap. It's Will Tregurtha that will take us away on pole position. Tim Heinemann, last season's champion, winner of 7 rounds out of 12 last season. He is in second spot. And then we've got Ben Green in third, of course, winner in round number 2 last season, and he took only 1 win. This season, he is already on 1 win after round 1. So is he going to be able to indeed add to that? We've then got Moritz Lerner in 4th position, Michael Schrey in 5th, Nico Verdonk in 6th, Lucas Mauron and Jan Zimmer, both Swiss drivers then, are in 7th and 8th on the 4th row. That's spicy. We've then got Salomon in 9th position with Theo Overhaus in 10th position. Reinhard Koffler and Jörg Wiebahn are in 11th and 12th. Simone Riccatelli and Christopher Rink are 13th and 14th. Chandler Hull and Philip Stahlschmidt are in 15th and 16th. Laura Krayhamer and indeed Stefan Cox are in 17th and 18th position. David Gerban and indeed Patrick Mathiasen are in 19th and 20th. And rounding out our grid today is Sophie Hoffman, who's down in P21. Only a few corners to go then before we have our 30 minutes plus 1 lap race. It's round 2. And well, Ben Green has got maximum points so far. He's got 3 points for qualifying pole in race number 1. And then indeed, for winning the race number 1, he got himself 25, so 28 points. But he did not qualify on pole for this race. So Will Tregurtha has already got 3 points today. Tim Heinemann's got 2 and Ben Green's got 1. But now it's all about the big points. As they head then towards Ascari for the very final time at pedestrian pace. Lots of energy being sent out to Moritz Lerner. Through Ascari they come. Mauron getting a bit of camera time here, and again, you give this guy a chance, you leave the door open, he will indeed barge his way through that door, that is for sure. He will make moves. He's a very exciting driver to watch. Not so much for the drivers who are watching him in the rearview mirror, but for us watching at home, he is absolutely exciting. Pace car then takes them away. Will Tregurtha is the left-hand side of your screen in the number 85. We've got Tim Heinemann, again, a 7-time DTM Trophy race winner, our inaugural champion, our current champion, and this is going to be his first race start of the season, as he did not race yesterday. Tregurtha, though, in the AMG. Watch out for the 2 BMWs in behind, though. They are very quick in a straight line. Ben Green, though, is directly behind our pole sitter on the left-hand side of your screen, and then we have got Moritz Lerner on the right-hand side of your screen. Tim Heinemann, Moritz Lerner, 2 of the most pound-for-pound sim racers the world's ever seen. And, well, they're about to duke it out on the real track here at Monza. We have got the 5 red lights up on your screen. Now we're waiting for them to go green. It's the second race, then. It's round 2 of the DTM Trophy 2021. And it's now Will Tregurtha that will take us away. Waiting for those lights to disappear, and we are now green light racing here. And I tell you what, Tregurtha has got a relatively good start here. And where you can see it's almost 5 wide in the background there, down in towards turn number 1. And look at this then. It is Schrey. Schrey's coming through. He's from 5th on the grid. And I tell you what, he's got the overlap here on Tregurtha. Tregurtha is going to indeed close that door. And I knew a BMW was going to come through. I thought it might be Lerner or Ben Green. It was neither. Ben Green's been sent out into the gravel here. Mauron's going to come through. Everybody's going to come through. Lerner's down in the mid-pack here. And it's been a very messy start then for Lerner and indeed Ben Green as well. And while Michael Schrey's taken full advantage, he's up to second spot, and everybody else comes through pretty nicely. Tim Heinemann's a big loser there as well. He's down into 3rd position. Moritz Lerner then trying to go through the middle. He is indeed slicing and dicing here. He goes past Lucas Mauron. Mauron, though, will aggressively try and hold on to that position as they come through the second chicane then. Yeah, it is damage limitation at this stage of the race for Moritz Lerner. He's going to have to go defensive, though, in towards the Lesmos, because Mauron, he gets a sniff of an opportunity. He will take it all day, every day. Great stuff here. And oh, there's a big spin then. Oh dear, that's Chandler Hull. So Chandler Hull is going to be facing the wrong way here, and if he's beached up, that will be a safety car. You see that, well, in the background, it's not ideal there from Jan Zimmer as well. So Jan Zimmer running wide out of the Lesmos. And you can see that, where's Ben Green? So Ben Green's right down the order as it stands. Not a good start for him at all after going through the gravel. The front 3 are absolutely bumper to bumper here. Actually, you could say that about the front 4 as it stands. And this has been a very interesting start to the race. Jan Zimmer in the number 50 then, leading up the second group of drivers here. But I said that BMW would get involved, and I genuinely didn't believe it would be Michael Schrey. It was Michael Schrey. He's now into P2. Could he potentially go out and take a victory? We've got a safety car here then, so it looks like we do indeed have Chandler Hull beached into the gravel. And wow, what a frantic first lap that was. So Michael Schrey leads, and wow, he is trying to end the weekend how he started it. Free practice 1, he was the fastest. No one was anywhere near him. And well, if he goes out and wins this, he would have literally capped off both ends of the weekend as the fastest driver. Safety car then waiting to pick them up, and wow, what a fantastic start that was. A couple of drivers are going to feel a little bit aggrieved. And well, I think you're going to need a shovel there. That is definitely not the right place to park. Very unfortunate. So there's the safety car flashing lights in the distance. I don't think it'll take too long. The Manitou's out there already to the car, so I reckon we may have 2 laps here, just to make sure. May only be 1 lap, who knows? The Monza marshals have been absolutely incredible. But here you go then, here is the race start. And you can see then Michael Schrey. Wow, that is an incredible start here. So he stayed in the slipstream for a little bit of Ben Green, then pulled out and just went full send mode down the middle. Tregurtha had a phenomenal start. Tim Heinemann unfortunately got caught out there. Ben Green, look at on the left-hand side of the screen now. He's stuck in the gravel. We've got dust being kicked up everywhere. Visibility is an absolute minimum. Tim Heinemann, he nearly went down to P4 here as well. So Ben Green there is just in 4th position as they come through the second part. And then he gets squeezed out wide here by Heinemann. Yeah, no love lost between those two, that's for sure. And then Heinemann loses, Ben Green loses 4 or 5 positions. I think that's Jan Zimmer that loses out a couple of spots as well. Yeah, not a good start at all here. And here is the spin. Oh, yeah, the Audi there just completely loses traction on the curbing, I think. I don't think we're going to be able to get an onboard there, but it looks like the Audi's hit the curbing and just gone out wide. Yeah, we're just seeing the aftermath of it, really. So, yeah, I think he's held a tight apex, but unfortunately the curbs just bumped him out. And the BMW is being sent off into the gravel. So Chandler Hull, unfortunately, it looks like it might be a DNF for him. So we are under safety car conditions as it stands. Tregurtha leads the way. Schrey second, Heinemann third. Nico Verdonk in the Supra is up to a top 4. Salomon has had a great start here, then currently in P5. Moritz Lerner is, recovered quite nicely up to P6. He's P8 at one point. Lucas Maron 7th then. We've got Riccatelli. I was saying he can't win from P13. Well, he's P8 now. It's a great start from him then. Has he gone up from 13th to... He has 5 positions then. So we could potentially see that Italian on the podium. That would be fantastic indeed for the fans at Monza. We've then got Reinhard Koffler in 9th position. We've got Ben Green then down in 10th spot. He started 3rd on the grid. And wow, the race winner from yesterday has got a lot of work to do. Jan Zimmer down into P11. He's dropped 3 positions. Stolschmidt then up into 12th position. Theo Uverhaus is in 13th. Laura Krahamer is in 14th position. So, yeah, very, very interesting start indeed with Christopher Rink finding himself then in 15th. Stefan Cox in 16th. V-Bahn, my driver of the day yesterday, has had a torrid time here so far. P17 as it stands. And I think the safety car is coming in, ladies and gentlemen. 1-lap safety cars are the best type of safety cars. It's Will Tregurtha to take them away once again, but he's got someone different next to him this time, and they don't have to wait for the lights to go green or lights to disappear. It is when Will wants to go. As there's still yellow flags here being waved, and they will go when Will decides to go. He is waiting so long here. And now he's gone. So here we go. And I think Schrey has absolutely picked his pocket at this point. He has got a phenomenal restart here. And Schrey, in 2 laps, is potentially, he's going to take the lead here quite easily. Tim Heinemann is going to try and go round the outside here. But look at Nico Verdonk. Look at Nico Verdonk here, 3 wide into turn 1. And Tim Heinemann is going to try and make this work. But it's not going to work out for him at all. Nico Verdonk's going to move up to 2nd. Tregurtha's gone from 1st, then down into 4th. I think Ben Green's off into the gravel once again here. So not great at all. But Nico Verdonk in that Toyota is making a play for the lead of this race. Great stuff then from him as they come there around Curve Grande. And I think Heinemann might just be able to hang on. No, look at Nico Verdonk. Look how late he is on the brakes. Heinemann is just going to have that overlap as they come through. And yes, Heinemann is in 2nd spot, but what a start it is for Michael Schrey. He's from P5 on the grid up to P1 in the space of, what, 3 laps? one of those laps being under safety car. These two battling for position, though, are indeed going to help him in his cause to potentially win this race. But as it stands, we've got a Mercedes in P1, a BMW P2. Sorry, no, we've got BMW P1 and Aston Martin P2. We've got a Toyota in P3, and then in P4 is an AMG. And look at that, it's an Audi now coming through here as well. Moritz Lerner next door to Lucas Mauron. Mauron then trying to make a play for the outside line, then up towards Ascari, and actually changes course of action. Tries to maybe make a move up the inside. Not really the slowest of corners is Ascari. To send one up the inside. And Moritz Lerner then is indeed going to hold on to that P6. Salonen is up into P5. He's right in behind his teammate here. And I'll tell you what, if you'd said to him at the start of this race, you're going to be right behind your teammate at the end of this race, he would have been absolutely loving life. But then not realizing that might mean that he's going to end up being P5. So Ben Green then, you can tell the difference between Ben Green and the rest of his teammates because he's got the red wing mirrors. Obviously on the left and right-hand side of his car. He is down in P10 here, but as they cross the line, it may change. I think he might have lost another position. So across the line we go here, and look at this, Nico Verdonk then underneath that rear wing of the Aston Martin. And I'll tell you what, once that Toyota gets going, it is an absolute rocket ship. Down in towards turn one, how late does he dare go on the brakes here? I think Heinemann's going to have the better car under braking, and almost a bit of contact between the two. Tregertha then surveying the situation. Oh, there's a mistake there by Salonen. Salonen under a little bit of pressure here. Moritz Lerner will be hoping that he's going to be slow then on exit to pick his pocket for a position as well. But it is Schrade that leads, Heinemann second, Verdonk into third, Tregertha fourth, Salonen and Lerner in fifth and sixth. And you see there, that mistake from Salonen has really cost him here. The speed advantage in a straight line, the BMW getting himself out of jail. And Lucas Mauron, again, very close proximity here as they come through the second chicane. Lerner makes a mistake, hits too much sausage curb, and I think that might give Salonen the opportunity to come back through. Boxed in, though, is Lucas Mauron, so Mauron is going to get boxed in here. I don't think he's going to be able to find any kind of overlap. And Lerner, again, just struggling to keep traction of that car. And, well, I think the Audi may have just saved him there. But Mauron now through the second Lesmo. And in the space of 3 corners, then Lerner's going to have lost 2 positions. Up the position will be indeed Salonen and indeed Mauron. Of course, Lerner did get himself up into that spot, but ultimately lost out there by just being maybe a little bit too greedy. Lost the rear. Very, very unfortunate indeed. Lucas Mauron, though, he's not content with this position because he's going to go up the inside of Salonen. And, well, lovely old job from him. And the Audi now moves up to what would be P5. Meanwhile, whilst these have been battling for position, the front 4 have kind of got away here. Schrade still leading out, Heinemann just in behind him. Verdonk and then indeed Tregertha. 1.8 seconds separating them as they crossed the line last time out. I think Schrade may have gained a little bit more time. Lucas Mauron leading the second set of cars. The peloton chasing, and he's run wide here. Salonen's going to get an absolute freebie, but I think he might be pinned towards the apex here. Well, no, Salonen's just squeezed him out. And as they then come down the back straight, or the long straight here, the pit straight, you can see that Mauron there squeezing Moritz Lerner off the circuit. Moritz has then had to get off the power. He's had to filter himself back in behind. So he's going to get some slipstream here and then potentially try and make the move then down in towards turn number 1. So the front 4 aren't really doing too much here, but it's the group of cars behind. Mauron then under a lot of pressure here from that AMG. Salonen is not going to make that corner. Moritz Lerner did not make that corner. Lucas Mauron, he didn't make the corner, but he gained a lot of time there, wondering whether he might be in trouble for that, as Lerner now will indeed come back on the track here, and they're just all costing each other some serious time at this stage. Ben Green's going to gain 1 spot, maybe gain a couple more as well. And, well, Reinhard Koffler's just moved up to a top 10 because of that as well. So we're going to watch this then. And that's all on Salonen, isn't it? Yeah, Salonen has just missed his braking point. I think Mauron would have probably made the corner if Salonen did not miss his braking point. And Lerner, I think he's missed his braking point, but also recognized the situation on his inside and just gone, look, do you know what? I'm going to go the escape road here, and then we can figure it out another day. My car's going to be a good nick, and job is a good one at this stage, really. Jan Zimmer now up ahead of his teammate. Is he up ahead of both teammates? Yes, he is. So I think Ben Green's just in behind him, right? Yeah, Ben Green's behind, so is now Moritz Lerner. So tumbling down the order at this stage of the race. Very, very unfortunate indeed. Michael Schrade, there's no such thing as unfortunate for him, because he is absolutely smashing it. P5 up to P1. He has not looked back at all. Down towards Parabolica they come. Front 4, again, pretty close proximity. But they're not really fighting with each other here, and maybe they've made the decision, do you know what, we can just fight at the end of this race. Let's just make sure that we are at least at a max of 4-way for the lead of this race later on. But you can see that Tregurtha will come into his own later in this race. Remember, the BMW does have a bit of a drop-off in pace in terms of, say, the last 10 minutes. Heinemann will know this. We saw this last week as well. Ooh, Tregurtha with a late dive there on Nico Verdonk. Had a little bit of pressure to work with, though, so he was able to back out of the spot. Maron still P5, Salonen just in behind. And then you've got Jan Zimmer in P7. Ironically, Jan Zimmer, apart from, of course, Schrey, is now the lead BMW. Theo Uverhaus in P8. We've got Ben Green P9 then. Reinhard Koffler P10. Moritz Lerner currently down and outside that top 10. Needs to be patient here. And this is where, you know, having experience with the car will really help you. So Lerner has got a learner on the job as it stands. So the run up to Ascari here, and it just looks like the front two have split away from the second two. And this is now really impressive as the front 5 are all different manufacturers. So at the start of the weekend, I was genuinely a little bit worried about the balance of performance with these cars. It did look like the BMWs were absolutely the car around here. But ultimately, as the weekend's gone on and people have got more experience and more time and more seat time, it's become very clear that this is a very even championship. Of course, cars are going to be stronger at certain things, i.e. the BMW is very good in straight line, its speed advantage, but through the corners it's a little bit lacking, and actually it looks like it uses up its grip in terms of the tyre tread very, very quickly indeed as well. So the BMW is clearly a quick car. It won yesterday, it's in the lead right now, but whether it can maintain that kind of speed, I'm just not too sure. Tregurtha here needs to be clever. I don't think he needs to make a move here on to Nico Verdonk. He's got to trust that Verdonk's quick enough and that they can go off and catch up to the leaders. If they start battling for position, they're only going to lose more time. And that Toyota is so capable of going late on the brakes, isn't it? As we've got a 2 wide action coming in right now. This is Reinhard Koffler and Moritz Lerner that were side by side. Koffler holds on to the position. We've only got 15 minutes, 40 seconds to go here. As we watch our race leader then. Michael Schrey is going to be so, so excited. Last season, he did appear for a couple of rounds. This season, he is here for good. And I tell you what, he is taking that opportunity with both hands as it stands. He was the fastest in free practice 1 this weekend, so he kicked off the weekend by being the fastest, and that just really hasn't been able to recapture that form for the entirety of the weekend. And even with qualifying for this race, wasn't quite up there. But I tell you what, the start he's had in this race is absolutely exceptional, and he really is seizing his opportunity, should I say. 7 tenths though is the lead, and if there's one person in this championship you don't want behind you, it is the most winningest driver of all time in a DTM Trophy, and that's Tim Heinemann. A drive-through penalty for car number 33. So and that is for cutting turn 2 with an advantage. Oh dear, that's Lucas Maron. So Lucas Maron then did gain a big advantage. We all saw it with our own eyes, and he has been penalised then. He will have to go and serve a drive-through penalty. That is going to help everybody. That's going to chuck him so far down the order. I think that might put him maybe P19. Could it put him P20? I don't think Shervan's quite close enough here. Maron, I don't think he'll come in now. I think he'll have 3 laps to do this. But yeah, it's not a good time here. Look at Tim Heinemann, though. He is ready to pounce like a panther. He's circling like a shark. And like I was just getting to there, like I was alluding to, if there's one driver that you do not want behind you, chasing you down, it is Heinemann. 7 wins out of 12 last season. A very dominant champion. It was only up until the last 2 rounds of the season, or the last 4 races, where Lucas Maron just had an unbelievable car underneath him, where he won 3 races out of 4. That was the only time that Tim Heinemann wasn't dominant. He'd been on the podium every single race up until the final 4 rounds as well. So he was just crazy quick. He was the leader of the championship after rounds 1 and 2, and he hadn't won a race. Like, he was just the most consistent driver on the grid. As you see a load of dust being kicked up there. That looks like that was Salonen. Salonen's going to gain that position. And well, there's Ben Green there with the red wing mirrors. Try to put a move on Theo Overhaus. So they may be driving the same car, but they are not a part of the same team. They make the run then up towards Ascari. Again, the lead's about 0.2 of a second. I want to check this out. I want to see this. That is close. The lead is very, very close indeed. Again, Ben Green, winner from yesterday. Very reminiscent to last season. Whoever won the first race was Ben Tuck. Did not have a good race too. Salonen, I guess he would have been told on the radio, just be patient here. You know Maron's coming in. I think he might be being held up at this stage of the race. As we're looking there on Jörg Wiebahn. So Wiebahn is where he started. Or I guess he's one position behind. No, where is he? Yeah, he started in P12. Here we go then, the run down in towards turn number 1. And the Aston is very, very close indeed. Is the potential there through Curve Grande, though, to make that overtake? And as you see, Lucas Maron has indeed done his stop now. Yeah, Maron's dropped right down the order. He is P11 as it stands, as he crossed the line, but I think it might be a little bit more than that. So what are we checking out here then? Oh dear. Yep, that's a line. That's one way of going through there, Wiebahn. Luckily, no damage. Luckily, there's no damage. And that is that is not one of the cars from our championship. That is from the DTM championship there. As we come up towards Ascari, 11 minutes to go of this race. And it is, I think it's about to get fruity. And oh dear, they're into the gravel then. That is not ideal. That's Stefan Cox. We're going to check this out here. So there's a move being made then. Oh dear, that's just, yeah, that isn't nice. That's not very good at all. And that was Simone Riccatelli. I'd be very surprised if there's not a penalty for that. Is Stefan Cox going to be able to get the car going? No, that's the big question. And I think the front two battling here might give the opportunity to Will Tregurtha and Nico Verdonk. So are they going to be able to close up, though? That's the question. But this is the closest that Heinemann's been as we head across the line here. 10 minutes to go in this race. And it is Schrey leading the way. Although Schrey, even with slipstream to indeed Tim Heinemann, is still able to pull away. So the straight line speed is absolutely incredible from that BMW. But look at this then, and this is driving of, well, driving of the highest regard, and indeed driving of a champion, a previous champion. I think he'll have to give that position up, though. If he doesn't, he'll receive himself a drive through, just like we've seen for Lucas Maron. As you can see there, he's trying to give back the position, but also not lose too much time, as they're squeezed, almost squeezed off into the grass there. So he is now behind him, officially, and he's got to redo all of that work once again. Very clever from Heinemann. He loses minimal time. But the real winners in this situation now are P3 and P4. Nico Verdonk in that Supra. And then Will Tregurtha, indeed, who got a podium yesterday, was our pole sitter today. Look at this. He tries to go late on the brakes. He just tries to turn in under braking, which is just never going to work. Loses the rotation of the car, cuts over the curb. And, well, he's very fortunate again. These cars, they are built so strong because you just don't see body parts flying off them very often. As you can see, jumps over the sleeping policeman. As I say that, there's a sticker that come off, and actually that's come off of the sausage curb. So the sausage curb's taken damage. The car's just like, rah, keep going, rah. Cars are stronger than the road. You'll love to see it. Front four separated by nothing through Ascari. Incident between Riccatelli and indeed Stefan Cox is being investigated here. I'd be very surprised if he's not getting a penalty. He just sent one up the inside of the Lesmos, and it just was never really on. But as you can see here, even with slipstream, That Aston Martin in the straight line, just struggling, but under braking is an absolute monster. Look at that. Look at the close up here. It's got the overlap around the outside, but this isn't clever. This is not clever racing right now because the two behind are in very close proximity. Anyone from this front four, 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go, could win this race. Ladies and gentlemen watching on YouTube right now, there's 1.9K people watching right now. Pick who's winning. I'm watching the YouTube chat right now. I want to see your predictions. Who's winning this race? Is it going to be Michael Schrey? Is it going to be Heinemann? Is it going to be Verdonk? Or is it going to be Tregurtha as they all indeed close down in towards turn number one? And Tregurtha then has found that overlap onto Nico Verdonk. Nico Verdonk's not going to be able to bite back here. And oh, he's very, very slow there. And we've seen that car have issues. And I think he might have lost the toe here. And it now becomes a three-horse race. Unless they start bunching up once again and let Nico Verdonk catch up. A little bit aggressive there from Tregurtha, but nothing too wrong in my opinion. So we got the Aston there, nice. Will Tregurtha, nice. Moritz, I don't think Moritz is going to have it this time. So Tregurtha here, he was fully alongside, wasn't he? And then he just squeezed on the... that's perfect driving from Tregurtha. Aggressive, but nothing more than that. Pins, to be fair, if anyone makes a mistake there, really, it was Nico Verdonk who just got too much curb there on the entry. But that's only because he has squeezed onto the apex. And oh no, Mattiasen then, the number 19, that is teammate of Tim Heinemann, is indeed off the circuit here. I think that might be okay to not have a safety car. With 7 minutes to go, we do not need that now. We do not need a safety car with 7 minutes to go. We want to see this play out, that's for sure. It is Heinemann versus Schrey. It's the 1 and the 2 car here. And right now, it's the number 2 car that leads the way. Schrey has just done so well here. Again, Heinemann gets that opportunity. He will take it. The tyres are now really going to drop off on the BMW as well. So that means that it's going to be more of an opportunity for Tim Heinemann. Heinemann is just trying to find the overlap then on the inside. Oh, this is perfect from him. But I think the BMW then with that straight line advantage should just about be able to get clear and go across, but he hasn't so far. And Heinemann, what a drive through Parabolica this is. And this could be the move for the race victory. Down in towards turn number 1 they come. Michael Schrey's on the outside. And while you can see that Heinemann then does break it a little bit later, that's snaking into the braking zone here. He's going to miss his braking point completely. Will Tregurtha then is going to gain a bit of time here, but he runs wide as well. And all of a sudden, Nico Verdonk comes through. And I'm just wondering whether that might be penalised as well for Heinemann. So I think Heinemann may need to give that position back. There's battling in the background between Jan Zimmer and Ben Green as well. I think Salonen might be involved as well. But I'm just wondering with the fact that he did indeed make the overtake because of the exit of that chicane. I wonder if it might just be worth him giving it back just to avoid any potential penalty. But he's a racing driver. He's going to drive away. So he's not got the move done at any point there until they get to the braking part. So he gets on the brakes here, snakes into braking, never making the corner. You can see that very clearly. Schrey indeed makes the corner. Yeah, I think he's going to give that back. I think you'll find he'll have to give that back there. He might have to serve a drive-through penalty like Mauron if he doesn't. So you've got to be consistent with the penalties, and they will be. Like Mauron's received that penalty already this race. Are we going to see that potentially again? It looks like it's getting very dark here. Only 5 minutes to go. I think we will have a dry, full dry race. I think if we went another half an hour here, we might see a sprinkling of water. So if you are sticking around to watch the Porsche Cup Deutschland, you might see a potential of a wet race. Schrey still leading there. 4 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Still plenty of time in this race. I would imagine that's 3 laps remaining. So down then in towards Parabolica. And again, Heinemann hasn't been told to give back the spot here. So I'd be very surprised if they let him keep that. Very surprised. So again, Schrey with that straight line advantage will indeed try and close in. Will Tregurtha, who did start this race pole position, he really did come into his own late into the race or yesterday, should I say. And he'll be looking to do the same again. Heinemann then, who's able to brake late, just looked like he was going to struggle to hit the apex there, but ultimately did get it nicely tucked in. Oh, that's a mistake. Into the gravel there. It's going to lose a lot of momentum, but I think that the two behind him battling so hard, it's probably going to cost them more time in that regard, to be fair. So down towards that second chicane, and well, Schrey, I think, might have to do this the hard way. He's not going to be getting any gimmies here for sure. BMW, we know, can just take these curbs like they don't exist. Now he has to go defensive then, so Tregurtha's got an absolute run up towards the Lesmos here. And he's going for the switchback. Not going to have too much room to maneuver here. And again, I just don't think it's worthwhile trying to make a move through the Lesmos. Too fast of a corner to lose too much momentum. Again, Heinemann off the circuit once again. He really is struggling for traction. He's just trying to maximize every ounce of time, every inch of track. As we come underneath then the motorsport.com tunnel. And I think you'll find that Schrey is just about holding on to this spot here. And this is playing into the hands perfectly of Heinemann. Heinemann, they're taking so much curve. Through the chicane they come. And Nico Verdonk then will be very happy to just sit here and see if anything does indeed progress. I think if they get to the end of the next lap and these two haven't really done too much, he'll start to get involved. But there is a podium in the offering here for the Toyota driver. And while this is going to make the championship picture after this race look very, very interesting indeed. So across the start-finish line they come then. We've got, I believe, 2 more laps remaining. Subject to change, of course. As you can see, Nico Verdonk then trying to force a mistake from Tregurtha. Tregurtha then going in again very, very deep. Heinemann starting to maybe lose a little bit of time here. Seems like, well, it's Monza. Slipstream, of course, is a huge factor, so it's almost easier to lead. Not easier to lead, easier to follow. Through Curve Grande then. Nico Verdonk there, just playing some mind games with the car in front. Never really a move on there. But he's just trying to force a little bit of a mistake from the car in front. And again, it's still a 4-way battle for the lead here. There could be contact, there could be any kind of shenanigans going down. You see in the background then, Ben Green again trying to make a move on Jan Zimmer. Has he got the... No, he hasn't. I thought he had a little bit of an overlap to work with there. Not quite. Again, teammates here, but there's no love lost. Clearly, Jan Zimmer will want to try and prove that he could be the #1 driver within the team, as much as Ben Green will be trying to prove that fact as well. As we head then up towards Ascari. It is still Heinemann in the lead, but Schrey is as close as he has been. Oh, that's a big mistake there by Nico Verdonk. Nico Verdonk's just run completely off circuit there. And he saved it. Saved his P4, but that is a big mistake by Michael Schrey. That is a lot of gravel being taken up there, and a Tregurtha, again, very, very close, but not quite close enough to take advantage. And this is just going to play into Tim Heinemann's hands then. So Heinemann is in a fantastic spot now. He's got no real pressure from behind. You'll see them in his rearview mirror, but he can now pick his braking point. He can now do whatever he pretty much likes, although he runs completely off there, all 4 wheels off. It's going to be no traction out there, that's for sure. And is that going to be a big enough mistake for Schrey to potentially be able to catch up? Doesn't look like it is. So a lot of mistakes happening here. We've seen already this week 4 blowouts of the rear left tyre in different race classes. So we've seen 4 tyres completely blow out. Lucas Mauron being one of them in this championship specifically. And they have all closed up here. So that rear left, which the camera people are very much panning on for me, thank you. Yeah, is taking so much strain at this stage of the race. So you've got to be very, very careful as well. To win the race first, you've got to finish, as they say. And if anything, I think Schrey might be starting to close up here. So we will have 1 more lap remaining after this. So there'll be 16 laps in this race. We want another 5 laps, don't we? Another 5 laps would be absolutely perfect. Through the Lesmos they come once again. And again, Schrey, even though he's made that mistake, is closing up here. I just think they're all struggling on their tyres at this stage. Tregurtha is waiting to pounce like that panther. Is he going to be close enough, though? That's the question. Up towards Ascari. They've got 1 more time through Ascari after this. Schrey really is closing up here. Tregurtha's close as well. Lucas Mauron then trying to come back through the pack here as it stands. So So Christopher Rink then is just in front of him. Or Sophie Hoffman, should I say, is just in front of him. And then you've got Christopher Rink just in behind. Mauron then is going to try and make a late lunge, I would say, up to Ascari. But don't worry about that, as we're about to head on to the last lap of this race then. So it is indeed Tim Heinemann trying to break the toe of the two cars behind. Who's going to come out on top then? Is it going to be fireworks here? I'm not sure if they're quite close enough. Who's managed to save anything in the tyres? I think if anyone's managed to save anything, then there could be the potential for a move at the end of this race. There's a lot of curb being clattered there on entry. As they all head then down in towards the second chicane, late on the brakes again. Nico Verdonk's actually started to close back in again. I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. I think if there's going to be a move, it's going to be a move for second spot. I think Tregurtha is going to have to be very aggressive on this final lap. I think he's been quite placid, hoping that they can both catch up to the leader. That's not going to be the case here, so it's now P2 or P3 for him. He's got a great momentum shift there. Has a really, really nice drive through the Lesmos. Up the hill they come then once again for the final time. And I tell you what, this championship has just taken a massive turn. Two completely different results in two races, which is absolutely phenomenal. That's what we want to see. We want to see everyone that close. As Michael Schrader runs a little bit wide here. Tregurtha on the power nice and early. And he's got to make that run down towards Parabolica. He's got to find that overlap up the inside here. Trey will move left then, and then he will move indeed right. He will try and take the apex very, very closely. Tim Heinemann, by the looks of things, is going to get back to winning ways in his first race of the season, because he didn't race yesterday. So Tim Heinemann around Parabolica for the very final time, and you can see that there's just no real grip for any of them here. Has Tregurtha got enough grip to maybe get on the power early and drag race to the line? Is not quite going to be the case here. But Tim Heinemann, he was champion last season. He won 7 races out of 12 last season. And wow, he's won 1 from 1 this season. He will cross the line and pick up the victory. Michael Schrader will finish in second. Tregurtha will take that final podium spot. And Nico Verdonk, well, I tell you what, this guy's got some serious pace this season. He showed it in dribs and drabs last season. But I tell you what, he's here to party for this championship for sure. But there is your winning car. And it is indeed Tim Heinemann. As you can see, flashing the lights there, will be relatively happy. I still wonder if they will be investigating that, if I'm honest. So yeah, that is, I would say, subject to change. That's just my personal opinion. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. As all of the cars then come on through. So it doesn't matter whether it's the virtual racetrack or the real racetrack. Wherever Tim Heinemann goes, controversy will follow. But he's a champion for a reason. And as I say that, I've just seen Robert Weisenmuller post the exact same thing. Hopefully you're well, Robert. So again, waiting for any confirmation as to whether it's been investigated or not. We didn't have an investigation message on screen. But as it stands, Tim Heinemann has taken victory. They've been the real heroes this weekend, to be fair, the marshals at this circuit. There's been a lot of incidents this weekend in terms of just driver error, mechanical errors, but the turnaround in terms of safety cars. We had a 1-lap safety car. That's so unheard of. They smashed it today at Monza. They smashed it all weekend. It's been great. So hopefully most of you enjoyed watching that. I see a couple of you on YouTube in the chat. They're a little bit disgruntled. That's the beauty of, indeed, motorsports and sim racing, whatever it is. You've got your favourites, and you've got your least favourites. You don't have to like it, but as long as you're enjoying yourself, that's all that matters. So here we go then, into the winner's circle. So there is the race room car. As they say, the home of virtual motorsports. And then in the background, you've got Tregurtha and indeed Michael Schrey. So I think we're about to get the confirmation of the result. Oh, and I think we have. I think Heinemann's been given a penalty here. I think he's finished in third. So I think the official result may read here: Michael Schrey P1, Tregurtha P2, Heinemann P3. So waiting for that to be confirmed here. But I think there has been a penalty added. Again, waiting for that confirmation. I've got as much information as you people watching at home, so I also could be making that up. I'm trying. So after what happened yesterday with Pro Sport not racing, they'll be very happy with their pace, regardless of the outcome today. They'll be very happy with their pace and know that they can mix it at the top end, at the sharp end of this grid. Well, he's put the hat on for first position. But I tell you what, I don't think he's got the victory here. I think he's been put down to third. Burning Ken, it would appear you enjoy listening to someone who has no idea what they're talking about. Great stuff. Thanks for your nice comment, buddy. So again, still waiting for the official results here. Normally we have them at this stage, so they must be sorting something out. There's Will Tregurtha, a second podium for him on his debut weekend. He will be so happy. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. Normally, I have stopped commentating right now, and I let you guys watch the podium. But I want to see the result as much as you guys. So I'm sticking around until we get the official results up on our screen. So yeah, I'm as big a fan as you lot. That's for sure. That is for sure. But I'm just waiting for the official result to pop up on our screen. But regardless of the controversy, we have got a championship on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've got the potential for 8 champions this season. I think any one of 8 drivers could win this championship. I think we could see the most race winners we've ever had. Last season, we only had 4 winners across the whole season. So if any of you do indeed have any questions you want to send to me, at ActrolVision on Twitter. So at ActrolVision on Twitter. I'll type in the chat right now so you know how it's spelt. There you go. See? And while it's being confirmed then, ladies and gentlemen, that Tim Heinemann has a 2-second penalty and will indeed finish in P3. Tregurtha will be in P2. And Michael Schrey is officially the race winner. Absolutely outstanding stuff from Schrey. I don't think Tim Heineman's got anything to really grumble about, in my honest opinion. He overtook by going off circuit. Lucas Mauron did something, obviously he gained a lot more time, hence why it was a bigger penalty in terms of the drive-through penalty. But yeah, there is Will Tregurtha on your screen. Let's just celebrate the actual racing now at this stage. I feel like the right decision has been made. But now let's look at the race winner, because Michael Schrey, he appeared last season, didn't really have any form, if we're going to be completely honest, but this season looks a different beast entirely. Congratulations to Michael Schrey on being a DTM Trophy race winner. I'm going to leave you now with the podium ceremonies. Hopefully you have enjoyed the race coverage this weekend. I've had an absolute blast. I will be here all season long. I've been Luke Crane. Take care and have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
William Tregurtha. And the winning team is Bonk Motorsport. So Bonk Motorsport on the podium, please. The winning team. And the winner is Michael Schrey, the winner of second race of DTM Trophy at Monza. So it's time for the anthem for the winner. Compliments to Michael Schrey. It's time to lift up the trophy, please. For the photograph, lift up the trophy. Come on. Here we go.